Gene, thanks very much. Welcome inside Bridgestone Arena here in Nashville, Tennessee, as we get set for the matchup between the Oilers and the Predators. But first, let's get to the starting goaltenders. Brought to you by Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee. The Oilers and the Predators. But first, let's meet the starting goaltenders. Brought to you by Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee. It's always 20 minutes fresh. Kevin Dubnyk beat Nashville twice last year. Both wins here in Nashville. This will be his 20th start of the season. And at the other end, 30-year-old Pecorine gave up 5 goals on 13 shots Monday in L.A. He got the hook halfway through the third in a 5-1 loss to the Kings. That was the third straight loss for the Nashville Predators. They have been outscored 12-3 in those 3 games. Of course, the Oilers come in. They're trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. They lost last night in Detroit by the score of 3-0. The first time that they have been shut out this season. And we are underway. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Jordan Eberle, and Taylor Hall reunited on that top line for the Edmonton Oilers. And we get the start tonight. As that puck goes up into the mesh. And Taylor Hall reunited on that top line for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Jordan Eberle, and Taylor Hall reunited on that top line for the Edmonton Oilers. And we get the start tonight. As that puck goes up into the mesh. Get a chance to take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Boston Pizza, your hockey headquarters destination. We know one thing, Alex Hemsky is not in the lineup.
Yeah, Alex Hemsky out tonight with that foot injury that he suffered in Detroit last night. Corey Potter will also be a healthy scratch tonight for the Oilers, and you'll see Ben Eager step back in there and Theo Peckham on the blue line for them. So a couple of changes to get things going here. Ryan Smith will play the center position on the fourth line between, we think, Eager and Brown.
Yakupov and Gagne, Magnus Pjarvik. Webber there now, and there is Theo Peckham with a blue bug. Sickness got him.
Shay Webber. Webber strikes first in the conference final. It's 1-0.
Kept him out of the lineup for the last couple of games.
Foot injury that he suffered in Detroit last night. Corey Potter will also be a healthy scratch tonight for the Oilers, and you'll see Ben Eager going here. Ryan Smith will play the center position on the fourth line between, we think, Eager and Brown. He'll play the center position on the fourth line between, we think, Eager and Brown.
For the last couple of games, Yakupov and Gagne, Magnus Pjarvik out there now, and there is Yakupov and Gagne, Magnus Pjarvik out there now. Pass intended to him, and that was picked off before he could get there by Kevin Klein. And there is Victor Bartley playing his first NHL game, number 64 for the Nashville Predators. Played 54 games with Milwaukee, picked up 26 points. He's in the lineup, and Louis, I guess he was a nervous guy this afternoon.
Yeah, was he ever? And you know what? The thing is, too, playing against his old teammate Jordan Eberle, played and a half with him in Regina in the WHL. But an interesting story, a couple of years ago, tore his tricep muscle in one of his first games up in the American Hockey League with Binghamton and missed the whole year. Couldn't find a job a couple of years ago and had to play over in Sweden for a year. So a real nice story to see him get back into the North American game and get his first National Hockey League game.
Pressure now by the Nashville Predators, turned aside, and here comes Eric Belonga. Belonga turns in his own zone. Changes for both teams as Belonga, the veteran, stays cool, and now he'll head to the bench. Ryan Smith, as you mentioned, out there with Brown and Eager, and a shout-out for Ben Eager, Louis, his 400th NHL game.
Yeah, congrats to him. You know, it's not an easy task to do, especially a big physical guy up and down on a Stanley Cup in Chicago and playing in a 400th game. So always a milestone with the players to get to that 400.
Here's an opportunity right in front. And Martin Erat was denied. Nick Schultz, a veteran leader for revenge. Scoring opportunity. Erat with the puck now. Erat played his junior, which seems a long time ago, as a member of the regular Rebels.
Good chance there by him.
Ellis moving in. Ellis.
And here is Brian Ellis.
Smith.
It sounds like a college hockey team.
For the Nashville Predators, the Oilers outshot 28-22 last night in Detroit. They are 1-1-1 in the second half of back-to-back games so far this year. They'll have another set of back-to-back games March 25th right here in Nashville, and then they'll be in St. Louis on March 26th.
And
Webber moving in.
the Bridgestone Arena.
Rips wide and goes all the way back down into Nashville territory. A Nashville Predator team that is 4th in the Central, 11th in the West. They've got 23 points. The Oilers have 21 points.
Yeah, the team, Kevin, has had 3 days off. They haven't played since that game Monday in Los Angeles, so a few days to kind of get some meetings in, get some practices in. This is a team that has only won 1 game in the last 6. So you know they're going to come out here early in this game and be fired up and try and get pucks and bodies to Devin Dubin.
Gagne works his way in, trying to center it. Pecorine was way out of the net. Quickly back the other way. Hornquist passes it in, and Devin Dubin had a little trouble with it, so he's not going to take a chance, and he covers it up, and Ladislav Schmid doesn't want anybody around his goaltender, including Patrick Hornquist.
Yeah, their top sniper. We talked about Hornquist in the opening there and how he's a feisty guy. As Ladislav Schmid takes a little exception to him going in there, giving Dubik a little bit of a poke. He likes to get aggressive. Here's that chance by Ura. Just a misplayed puck in the defensive zone by Edmonton. Looks like he's going to the backhand. Maybe gets a little hooked up by Schultz. But he fumbles it over top of the stick, and here's the dump in here that Dubin can't really get a handle on. And for Hornquist, just, didn't really poke him too much. They're a little sensitive down there on the ice. But losing 4 games in a row, as the Oilers have done, will make you a little testy on the ice. So I expect a little bit of fireworks like that in this game tonight, because both teams are trying to get off slides. They're trying to get a big win. As you mentioned, only 2 points separate both teams, and they both desperately need their points.
Smith behind the net, along with Bobby Butler, picked up on waivers.
And Butler, he scores! And it's 2-0 Nashville. And Butler gets its 4th in the playoffs. And 1 in the conference final.
Weaver picks up.
First, they're trying to get 4 games in a row, as the Oilers have done, to make you a little sensitive down there on this. But losing 4 games in a row, as the Oilers have done, to make you a little testy on the ice. So I expect a little bit of fireworks like that in this game tonight, because both teams are trying to get off slides. They're trying to pull on him for Hornquist. Just, didn't really poke him too much. They're a little sensitive down there on the ice. But losing 4 games in a row, as the Oilers have done, to make that poke him too much. They're a little sensitive down there on the ice. But expect a little bit of fireworks like that in this game tonight, because both teams and they both desperately need their points.
Smith behind the net, along with Bobby Butler, picked up on waivers. He and Zach Boychuk. Waiver pickups in the month of March.
Yeah, interesting, very cautious noises. It's up to them to show us what they have. This is an opportunity.
Smith with a chance, stopped by Devin Dubnik. Ryan Jones, the former Nashville Predator. Leonard Petrell, as Louis mentioned, back in the lineup. Petrell did not dress the last 2 games. He is on the line with Jones and Belanger, and he has the puck right now. Leonard Petrell from the corner. Petrell cycles down low for Jones. Belanger in there to try and help out. Nick Schultz steps up and keeps that puck in. Trying to take advantage of the youngster. But back comes the Nashville Predators, and there is Schultz. And a penalty coming up, the first power play of the game is going to go to the Nashville Predators as we trying to take advantage of the youngster. An opportunity.
This game tonight, because
waiver pickups in the month of March.
Yeah, interesting, very cautious noises.
Under Petrell on the line with Jones and Belanger, and he has the puck right now. Leonard Petrell can help out. Trying to take advantage. Is going to, but back comes the Nashville Predators, and the Predators
trying to make it a power play.
And a penalty coming out, the first power play of the game. Is going to go to the Nashville Predators. As we take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by the 2013 Ford Super Duty. It is built Ford Tough. Welcome to the end 2013 Ford Super Duty. It is built Ford Tough.
Welcome to the end. He's talked about patience with Ralph Kruger this morning. He's talked about a lot this year, just staying in your structure, staying in your discipline, staying in your defensive zone coverage, get the offensive opportunities when you can, and attack will be important tonight. And for for the Predators shoot. As you mentioned, the last place team in the National Hockey as far as shots on net this year. They've had 3 days off. It's been a topic of discussion in practice and meetings and in the dressing room. They want to fire more pucks to the net tonight.
Get an opportunity here. They were over the
For the second year in a row.
They've got just one power play goal in their last 6 games. Today's pleasure. 4:58 points at home. Nashville. 7 of their 10 power play goals have come here at Bridgestone Arena. This team is ranked 26th overall when it comes to power play. The Oilers, of course, very good special teams. 6th ranked penalty killers. Shay Webber, dangerous on the point. Naturally, he'll be out there to start it, and he's got the puck right now. Chips that puck in. Hornquist sends it around the boards. Colin Wilson, leader in assists and points, along with Mike Fisher. Trying to keep it in. Was Kostitsyn, an opportunity now for Jones. Breaking in, shorthanded. Jones! Already. The first shot of the game of Pecorine is a breakaway. The Oilers with 3 shorthanded goals this season. Taking advantage of the forward at the point, Sergei Kostitsyn. Wilson with it now. Wilson will get it to Fisher. Fisher tries to sell it. Unable to capitalize on it and put it home, though. Was Yossi. Yossi has the puck right now. Center out. Slot shot. Fisher makes that. And it's Hornquist. Capitalize on it and put it home, though. Was Yossi. Yossi has the puck right now. Center out. Slot shot. Was Yossi. Yossi has the puck right now. Center out. Slot shot. Home, though. Was Yossi. Yossi has the puck right now. Center out. Slot. Put it. Fisher. Fisher tries to center it. Easily there. Unable to capitalize on it and put it home, though. Was Yossi. Yossi has the puck right now. Center out. Slot shot. Was Yossi. Yossi has the puck right now. Center out. Slot shot. Fisher makes that. Unable to capitalize on it and put it home, though. Was Yossi. Yossi has the puck right now. Center out.
Yossi. First shot. And he scores. Roman Yossi.
Nashville.
It's 5 in the playoffs.
Good action around Devin Davis here by Nashville. They're very relentless, getting pucks into that area, bodies in front. Here's the breakaway by Jones. Little here by Nashville. They're very relentless, getting pucks into that area, bodies in front. Here's the breakaway by Jones. Little fumble. Michaels.
Get him. Short-handed goals this season. Taking it. Is a breakaway. Down for Jones. For Nashville. Bob Brown and Rich Bloom.
The train, like the pros, with Tim and Cooper enjoying themselves here in Nashville.
We'll be back. The gloves are off here in Nashville. We'll be back right after this.
We'll be back at the early match.
Well, a couple of Edmontonians, Dr. Wang, yeah, that's his name, and Cooper enjoying themselves here in Nashville. And Oiler fans, you get a chance to enjoy yourself as you have an opportunity to decide which minor hockey teams get the chance to train like the pros with the 4 Drills and Skills contest. Go to 4drillsandskills.ca to see which teams made it through to the final round and cast your vote for the winners. Voting closes March 30th.
Well, Kevin, a little fireworks there to start things off. On the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see Brown and Clune square off, and both of these guys throw the rapid punches early on. Both of them get their shots in. And the third time that these two have fought each other in their career, the first 2 fights were down in the American Hockey League. In back-to-back games, they fought each of those games, so they know each other very well.
Brown has now fought 7 times. He came into this game second in the league in penalty minutes. He is added to that total here. He now has 80 on the year. Wilson and Fisher picked up the help on that goal by Hornquist. The second in 7 games. Yossi fires that puck towards the net. Petrie sits around the boards for Everton. Jordan Everly tied up by Yossi, gets the puck out to center. David Lindholm. Really, you talk about a guy in the face of the franchise. He was the franchise when this thing started. Here in Nashville, that is NHL hockey.
Yeah, the first ever draft pick by the Nashville draft pick by the Nashville Predators, picked second overall in 1998. He's been here. This is his 13th year now in the Nashville Predators uniform, so a terrific career for him, all in one city. And you're right, he's one of those guys that definitely is a leader here.
Picture with a shot, glove save by Dubnyk. And once again, Hornquist right in his kitchen.
Nashville's done a pretty good job here in this game so far of really transitioning quickly. When pucks turn over in the neutral zone, they get on the offense very quickly, driving through the net. Good shot from the wide angle, looking for a rebound. But Devin Dubnyk snatches that up and says, I don't think so. And that'll be important tonight for Dubnyk, not allow those pucks to drop down in front of him, as Nashville's going to have that presence in front. And it's something they talked about all week long, and they weren't happy about it this morning in the dressing room, the way they've been playing.
Ryan Ellis with a shot, the seventh of this period for the Nashville Predators. So, Louis, what do you think they were working on in practice?
Absolutely.
He scores! Leonard Petrell. First play off the goal. And the Predators are within 2.
Dubnyk not allow those
3-1.
pucks to drop. Devin Dubnyk snatches that up and says, I don't think so. And that'll be important tonight for Dubnyk, not allow those pucks to drop. Driving through the net, good shot from the wide angle, looking for a rebound. But Devin Dubnyk snatches that up and says, I don't think so. And that'll be important tonight for Dubnyk, not allow those pucks to drop down in front of him, as Nashville's going to have that presence in front. And it's something they talked about all week long, and they weren't happy about it this morning in the dressing room, the way they've been playing.
Ryan Ellis with a shot, the seventh of this period for the Nashville Predators. So, Louis, what do you think they were working on in practice?
Absolutely.
With Smith.
Boychuk stopped. And here is Jones, had that one chance, the one shot the Oilers have so far. There's a breakaway opportunity, shorthanded, stopped by Pecorino. Rene faced just 13 shots in that loss against Los Angeles. And Eager on now against Ryan Ellis. Ryan Smith, Ryan Jones out there. Eager's got the puck line of center. It comes to Jones. He tried to get that puck to settle down. Now all kinds of traffic in front of Pecorino.
This is the legendary stubby pencil, one of many used to win a total of $7 million last year. Amazing.
Get your game on with Pools.
Well, Kevin, as you mentioned, Ryan Jones had a breakthrough a little earlier on, has another good chance here, but gets kind of bowling balled through as he tries to get that bouncing puck to the net. Good job by Eager and Smith on the forecheck. One body contact, separate puck, get it to the net, and everybody converges, and that's the type of hockey you like to see from Edmonton.
And that's got to be the type of hockey from that line.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you have to have that gritty effort, and for Rod Kruger this morning talked about a high compete level, and especially the attention to detail. Get pucks in deep, establish a forecheck. Not so far they haven't been able to, as Nashville's come out really aggressive here. But that's how you wear down teams.
8 shots for Nashville, just 1 for the Oilers so far. They've got 11:41 to go in this first period. Race for the puck.
Oilers watch.
The puck's still free, and it's picked up by Gagne. Gagne to Yakupov. Nail Yakupov, opposite corner. He's got Yarvis freaking in against Webber. Played it in front. Yakupov picks it up in the far corner. Plays it all the way back to the point. Schmid was outside the blue line, and the Oilers will have to reset. They'll get a line change in. Schmid and a pass that went off Jordan Everly. Everly gets it back in, and here comes Hall. Hall streaking in, fires a shot, and that one goes wide. In behind the net, Schmid on the far side. Tipped it up in the air. And the Oilers get it again. And look at this pass. Nugent Hopkins moving in, leaves it for Hall. Hall trying to make a nice move around Webber, and Webber took it away at the last second. Right back in. Walker's save for Devin Dubnyk. Off Gabriel Bourque. Wilson trying to get it in front. That was knocked down by Nugent Hopkins. Gabriel Bourque leads this team in goals. He's got 6 so far.
Yeah, real interesting story. Came in last year, played his first games up with the Nashville Predators, carried it right over into this season, signed a new extension deal, and was pretty happy about it.
Out in front, and Whitney almost tipped that one home as Nugent Hopkins got tied up with Shay Webber in behind the net, lost his lid, and left his stick there. And that's the kind of thing that Nugent Hopkins has been seeing all year. The best defenders in the league trying to shut down Ryan Nugent Hopkins. Martin Erat moving in. Here is Butler, toe drag, nothing doing. Off the handle, off the end of the stick for Petrell. Ellis brings it right back in. Shot by Erat, tipped up off the glass and down, and shot down the ice, but not out. Ellis fired it. There is Schultz with a block shot. Oilers trying to get it out. Ryan Jones on the near side. Cross-ice feed for Erat, and that was Petrel who picked it off, got it to Belanger, and Belanger sent that puck the rest of the way. And the Oilers want to get a change. 9 shots for the Predators. As Louis mentioned, the lowest shot total on average in the National Hockey League, just 23.9 coming into this game. But Lou, I didn't do so well in math, but they got 27 right now if they keep this up.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they obviously took the message from Barry Trotz and the coaching staff over the last 3 days. They worked on it. And Shay Webber mentioned it this morning, and that's a guy you don't have to tell to shoot the puck. He loves to get pucks to the net, but as a team, as a whole, they're trying to just force that issue and get the pucks into that danger zone, bodies crashing. That's a Barry Trotz team. You know, get pucks to the net with bodies there, banging the goal, much like you saw Hornqvist do early on in this game. From 1 foot away from the goal net. So, I mean, that's the type of hockey they want to play. They just got away from it. They haven't been doing it.
That puck knocked down with a high stick. Tellis, Oilers hockey, and it's right here. A high stick. Tellis, Oilers hockey, and it's right here. On Sports.
Well, as Kevin and Louis spoke of a little earlier, Theo Peckham missed the last game because of illness, and it started the night before the Columbus game. He went out for dinner with a friend, and he went out for sushi. Now, he had the yellowtail sushi, which is more raw than he normally eats when it comes to that. What he likes to generally have is the California rolls. He believes that it was that made him sick, because ever since he's been ill, he's been fishing for answers.
I think it'll be a while before he has sushi again, at least the yellowtail. But he's out there now with Ryan Whitney. 8:38 to go in this first period. 1 goal in the game, a power play marker for the Predators at 6:00 this first period. 1 goal in the game, a power play marker for the Predators. Ryan trying to keep it in against Peckham, gets it to Wilson. Wilson battling. Legwand ends up with David Legwand. Gives it to Klein. Kevin Klein did not get the shot. Legwand in there to help out. The puck's still alive along the near side. Now it squirts free. And Neil Yakupov starts away. Yakupov stops, looking for Magnus Pierre, just out of his reach. Bounce down the ice by Wilson. And Justin Schultz is going to go back and touch it. And that's going to be ice.
Well, Kevin, you have to be sharp in the defensive zone. You can't get pucks away. Here's from Gagne. He just tries to get this pass up the wall through 2 Nashville Predator players. Not a real high percentage play, especially from behind your own net. That pass goes wide. Gagne looked down at the stick afterward. Didn't get all the graphite, I guess, on it that he wanted to. But the better decision might have been just to put it around the boards for that one instead of trying to go through 2 bodies. And those are the types of plays that can really cost you and deflate you as a team. So something you have to dial in the defensive zone.
Nugent Hopkins wins the draw. Nick Schultz got a shot right away. He's got the puck again, throws it towards the net. This time a wrist shot. It doesn't make it through, and it's bounced out by Klein. Top line on the ice for the Oilers with 7.5 minutes to go in this first period. The shots are 9-2 in favor of the Nashville Predators. Hall gets by Klein. Hall moving in. A wrist shot. Pad save. Big rebound. And it's picked up by David Legwand. Bourque. Wrist shot. Blocker save. Webber inches in. The puck comes right off the referee and comes right out in front. Leonard Petrel bounces it off the boards and gets it out. That could have been dangerous. Speaking of dangerous. Yeah, Webber. Off his skate. Petrel is there. So is Schmid. Petrie. The pass intended for Ryan Jones, but Jones is turning the wrong way. Centered out. That goes right through the crease. Back to the point. Ellis with it now. Ellis turns, fires a blast, and Devin Dubnyk, he had Gosted providing the screen, hangs on to it.
What do you think I do for a living?
You're a librarian. You tell people to shh.
I'm the assistant curator of the college's printed materials archive. And I make the coffee.
So you're a wannabe librarian?
Shh.
Cat City's new comedy, Seed, part of Monday's blockbuster comedy night, the #1 most watched night of the week.
Nashville Predators will entertain Minnesota on Saturday, and that means Ryan Suter. Nashville Predators will entertain Minnesota on Saturday, and that means Ryan Suter's first game back here in the Music City.
You mean tomorrow?
What did I say? Saturday?
It's Saturday. But it is tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's still a long trip.
So it is right. Technically, tomorrow is Saturday.
And he scores. And it's 4-1.
He's in the building just like Elvis.
Probably is here, but nice home credit for him coming back here, and obviously a place that was special to him. It was a big offseason move to see him go to Minnesota along with Zach Parise, two big free agent market players that were out there available, two of them anyway. So, but we'll talk. And it was players that were out there available, two of them anyway. So, but we were talking with the Nashville Predators this morning, and some of the players go to Minnesota. Along with Zach Parise. Was special to him. It was a big offseason move to see him go to Minnesota along with Zach Parise, two big free agent market players that were out there available. Parise, two big free agent market players that were out there available. Two of them anyway. So, but we were talking with the Nashville Predators this morning, and some of the players, obviously a big loss not having Suter here. But there's been a lot of guys that have stepped in there and really filled in those spots nicely and eaten up a few more minutes in the back end.
And using the waiver wire, we've talked about a couple of those players, and that's one way to get players in, get them out, see if they can do the job.
Why not? Take a flyer, right? You look at Boychuk, a former first-round pick, bring him in here, see if he can maybe kickstart his career and get things going. Hasn't really been able to do it at the National Hockey League level, but in the American Hockey League has been a real good first-round pick. Bring him in here, see if he can maybe kickstart his career and get things going. Hasn't really been able to do it at the National Hockey League level, but in the American Hockey League has been a real good player and was playing very well this year to start things off. So maybe he comes in here and gets fired up. And as you mentioned before, also Bobby Butler. So a couple opportunities for guys to step in. A team that hasn't played well, you come in and play well, you'll be in the lineup at very fast.
Waits for the puck, and Fine gets there first and gets the icing. So after that game, which is both tomorrow and Saturday, Nashville's going to head out on a 5-game road trip. And critical time. The Oilers, of course, the road trip will continue. You can see what's happening with the guys picking up the slack. The big one, Louis, got to be Roman Josi.
Yeah, no question about it. And obviously playing with Shay Webber, as a D partner. He says he's not trying to replace Ryan Suter. He says, I'm going out there just trying to play the best that I can. You can see all those minutes that are going up. Scott Hannon, a veteran presence that was brought in here as well to kind of buffer that.
Webber's shot is blocked by Diarby, sends it down the ice. The Oilers making a change, and Yakupov is basically on his own trying to keep that puck in. Flipped in by Ford, picked up by Petrie. For Jeff Petrie. All 5 of his points this season have come on this trip. Leguan with a backhand that misses.
And first fighting move as well. So I saw him give Gosta a little shot there. He didn't like the way that he took him into the board, so he gives him a cross check.
Here's a 2-on-1. Jordan Eberle moving in. And he was checked by Webber. And Webber tried to get his hand on it. If he'd done that, it would have been a penalty. Old habits dying hard here for the veterans.
I don't know how he missed it. It looked like he got a piece of the puck, but I guess he didn't. And from up here, I thought maybe he had touched the puck with his hand. But you're allowed to bump it with your hand. You just can't put your hand over top of it. But you're right. That was a reaction by Webber.
We have seen that a few times. Scott Hannon keeps it in. Scott Hannon wearing number 22. There was a guy who playing with Detroit we saw last night that made 22 famous in this town for a long time.
Pretty spirited fight with Mike Brown too. Jordan Tucci. That was some high octane there. Mike Brown's first fight gets in his second one here in his 3rd game with the Oilers. That's why he was brought in here, to be that physical presence and every once in a while drop the gloves and get going. And he's shown that he's doing just that.
Ostap, long lead pass for Ellis. Too far for him. That's going to be icing.
Well, a good rush here in one of the transitional plays for Edmonton. We haven't seen a whole lot of it here. One breakaway by Ryan Jones on the penalty kill, but here a 2-on-1 develops. And for Eberle, he just tries to get this through the skates of Shay Webber. And in that stopping process, watch him slam on the brakes here, he kind of gets a piece of it. And then right there, he knows that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is coming in. As part of, I think it was Wilson's stick that came in and moved out of the way of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and I think prevented Shay Webber from taking a 2-minute penalty. If he would have grabbed that puck, when you're in that situation, I guess you're saying, hey, I'll take my chances on the power play, the penalty kill, as opposed to a player getting a real high-quality chance. So maybe it was on purpose.
Well, the Oilers did not get a power play in that game in Detroit last night.
I can never process the game that fast. That was on purpose.
Back to the point. Here is Peckham's shot and all kinds of traffic. And look at Ryan Smith. He is actually in behind Pacarine.
Wow. Smith gave him a cross-check and he just kind of stumbled over top of Rene. But that's when you know you have a good presence in front when you're making contact with a goaltender like that.
A big goaltender, too. Both guys 6'5" in this game tonight as Gagne across the blue line. Gagne blocked by Shay Webber. Justin Schultz able to keep it in. Just over 3 minutes left to go in this first period.
Does Shay Webber ever go off the ice?
He is on a ton, averaging 25-54. He is 8th in the league in ice time. Here is Magnus Pärvi across the line. Pärvi stops, fires a wrist shot. Pacarine steers that aside, kept in at the blue line, temporarily at least, by Schultz. And now Nick Schultz going to go back and get it. No icing on the play. Gagne, tip pass up for Yakubov. He gives it right back to Pärvi. Pärvi chips and chases himself. Pacarine has to go out and play it, and does.
Just in the nick of time, he had to wait for that puck to get out of that zone. He can't play the puck, and then Pärvi with his speed, I think, got a piece of it. So a good job by him to hustle in there, and a nice thing here by Nashville. So for Pärvi, he's had a couple real good games in a row, scored 2 goals in succession. Obviously pointless last night in that 3-0 loss to Detroit. But for him on that second line, it's the way that he has to play. And he plays his best when he's moving his feet and skating. He has world-class speed. When he uses it, he's effective, and he's been using it lately.
This is his 8th career game against the Nashville Predators, and he is looking for his first point against the Preds. The Oilers were 3-1 last year, including, as I said off the top, 2-0 here in Nashville. They're 1-3-2 against Central Division teams. They'll play another pretty good Central Division team on Sunday, back into Chicago, where this road trip all began. We'll have that game for you on Sportsnet. 2 minutes left to go in this first period. Dumped in by Bartlett. Paul gets caught up. Here is Bork. Keeping it in, throws it toward the net, goes wide. Meglon's got it. Meglon gets it to Bork. Could not get the shot. Paul was back defensively. Now Nugent-Hopkins. He'll chip it in. Go after it against Hannon. Puck squirts free. And the Nashville Predators able to get it out to center. Theo Peckham has it caught up in his skates. And he took it away from both Bork and Wilson. Belanger keeps it in. Belanger, sharp angle shot. He had Petrell right in front. Jones with it now. Jones down low. Belanger centers it for Petrell. That slides wide. Good couple of scoring chances for that line. Devin Petrell right in front. Jones with it now. Jones down low. Belanger centers it for Petrell. That slides. Petrell right in front. Jones with it now. Jones down low. Belanger centers it for Petrell. That slides wide. Good couple of scoring chances. On here. Sharp angle shot. And the Nashville Predators. Here, the Oilers are down. They've had 2 conditions made. And the Nashville David Meglon just wanted to get the puck down the ice and get off on a line change. Ice conditions may not be optimal here at Bridgestone Arena. They've had 2 concerts in the building this week. And that may explain some of it, but Devin Dubnik's not going to use that as an excuse. The Oilers are down by 2. Gostad's shot is blocked. We're down to 35 seconds. For Meglon, his 4th goal came into all the notes for
in the league, some of the issues in the
13-8, and they're down 2-0. That's the story here so far in the Music City. All the notes for the Oilers right now.
Well said, Kevin Quinn. Neil Smith, Brad May alongside here. When we come back, we'll break down the first period and take you around the league for some of the issues in the National Hockey League. And Gene Principe will be joined by a guest. When we come back, it's Oilers hockey, and it's Mike Brown making his presence felt. But the Oilers in trouble, down 2 through 20.
Number 2. Well, he's not in the lineup tonight, that being Hal Gill, because of a lower body injury, but it feels like it's Hal Gill night here at Bridgestone Arena. First off, there he is on the front of the program that they're handing out, but this is really impressive, and I might need some help here. For the first 4,000 kids under the age of 12, they're giving them a life-size poster of Hal. Now, Hal, as you know, everybody else in the family is below the 6-foot mark. I asked him how he got so tall, and he said a lot of milk and a lot of McDonald's. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's one hell of a story. Up to you guys.
All right, Gene, the big goaltender for the Edmonton Oilers is on the bench, and Jan Denis, for the second time this season, has come on in relief. Denis' last appearance was January the 22nd when he came in against the San Jose Sharks, stopped all 14 shots he faced. Devin Dubnyk gave up 2 goals on 13 shots in that first period. The last one, that bouncing puck from David Legwand. And at the other end, Louis Pecorine knows exactly how he feels because he gave up 5 goals on 13 shots in LA.
Yeah, you know what, for Devin Dubnyk, obviously he's played 5 straight, as Gene was talking about his back-to-back game, and just a little mental lapse there. He's logged a lot of minutes for Edmonton this year. Get Jan Denis in there, maybe spark the team. I don't mind this move by Ralph Kruger right now, down 2-0. You've got 40 minutes to play. The last time this guy stepped between the pipes, as you mentioned, back against the San Jose Sharks on January 22nd, he did not give up a goal, and his team scored 3 in front of him.
Gostad tries to test him with a wraparound. Gostad calling for the puck when he comes in front. Loon gave it to Gustafsson. Here's Gostad again. Webber in front as well. And then here's Gostad again. Webber in front as well. And then to Gustafsson. Here's Gostad again. Webber in front as well. And then to Gustafsson. Here's Gostad again. Webber in front as well. And Shay Webber. Wow! And here scores for David Legwand. 5-1. Nashville. David Legwand, 3rd goal in the playoffs.
Well, just great work down low here. Obviously not the start you want to see for the backup goaltender stepping in and Jan Denis, but just good work down low. Relentless pressure in the offensive zone. Cycle around the box of Edmonton. Eventually just a little shot towards the net. He's landing himself on the edge of the blue paint. 2 goals now for the Nashville Predators, and then right there in that spot, they're getting pucks to the net, and Vercloon just drives himself. Predators have been right there. From that fight with Mike Brown as well, so he's getting involved in more ways than one.
2/3 of the way to the Gordie Howe hat trick is Rich Clooney.
He has a Gordie Howe hat trick.
Claimed on waivers from the Los Angeles Kings halfway through the month of January. And the Predators have a 3-0 lead, 51 seconds into this second period. Get the helpers on the goal by Clay. Pass didn't work, and Petrie is about to get it. And we'll get an icing call. Jan Denis, OKC, 16-13-3. A 31-year-old in his 52nd NHL game. He was 16-21-4 so far in his National Hockey League career. And as you mentioned, Louis, he did a relief, stopped every shot. So this is the first goal he has given up this season in a relief role.
Yeah, I talked about obviously the first or second shot rather for that because it was on the rebound off of Clune's first opportunity to drive it to the net and get scored on. But you know what? For Jan Denis, he's been around. He's a journeyman. He's been a backup goaltender before in the National Hockey League. Spent time in the American Hockey League on multiple teams. So he knows how to dial it in, and I'm sure we'll regroup after that one, and the team in front of him too as well. A little bit of a defensive zone collapse there by them, led to that goal. Good cycle by Nashville, but for Edmonton, who's having a real difficult time, as we've seen in the last two games, getting pucks into the offensive zone and establishing that downhill play themselves.
One more Predators goal. The organization is going to go upstairs to the If the Predators score 4 goals, 50 tickets will participate.
Well, a reminder that TELUS Flames hockey is coming up next. Calgary will most certainly pay close attention to the newest multi-millionaire in the Anaheim lineup. That is Brian Getzlaf.
$8 million for 8 years. And you talk about the face of the franchise in terms of Shay Webber, who is now definitely the face of the franchise for the Anaheim Ducks.
Obviously, they believe that too, that big deal to be signed. And a terrific season so far for Anaheim with 35 points. They sit second in the Western Conference and second overall in the National Hockey League. So a real good, strong start by them in this shortened season.
Van Eager going after that puck again. Eager, one hand up, looking for Brown. Brown gets spun around. Ryan Smith, Mike Brown, and Ben Eager on the ice right now as it is chipped in at the end of the shift. Bobby Butler. Nugent Hopkins and a big hit. Bringing it in is Eberle. Eberle, toe drag shot, and that one gets deflected up of Pekka Rinne and up into the netting.
This is a replica of the remote that inspired the big win. The original was tragically lost in a couch.
Get your game on with Pools.
That was Richard Clune once again takes a big run at Jordan Edley, goes into the boards.
To lead the series in the conference finals, Western Conference Final rematch.
And it wasn't the fact that he
What
hit
game
Edley,
tonight?
it's 3-0, takes a run at one of your top players. So already one struck tonight for Clune. Back to the bench. For him is dropped. One struck.
Another hit. And getting up slowly is Hornqvist, and Hornqvist is hurt.
Here's Jones. He scores! The home team. The Oilers. That's its homecoming here in the conference final. It's 5-2.
Struck tonight for Clune. Back to the bench, tries to get him engaged. Already one struck tonight for Clune. Coming into the season, only played 14 games back in Los Angeles Kings a few years ago, so a real nice start to the season for him. Already one struck tonight for Clune. Coming into the season, only played 14 games back in Los Angeles Kings a few years ago, so a real nice start to the season. Tries to get him engaged. Already one struck tonight for Clune. Coming into the season, only played 14 games back in Los Angeles Kings a few years ago, so a real nice start to the season for him. He's driving his way to a National Hockey League spot, and that's the state.
Again, Nugent Hopkins back together. Theo Peckham, another hit. And getting up slowly is Hornqvist, and Hornqvist is hurt. Hornqvist making his way to the bench, and you said clutching his shoulder after the hit by Theo Peckham.
Well, for Theo Peckham, he says, you're going to take a run on one of our top guys, I'll take a run on one of your top guys, and he is Parker.
Nugent Hopkins fires that puck just wide. Quickly back the other way, Colin Wilson. Off the blue line. Left it there, and a pass intended for a point shot didn't work. Hall takes a look. He has some time. Well, Rich Clune and Theo Peckham came together before, Louis. I think they might have to come together again.
We'll see. I think there's going to be a little more rough stuff out here. Obviously, everyone's starting to find their legs here in the last couple of minutes.
Gagne cutting from net back hand, stopped by Pecorine. Trying to jam it home. As Sam Gagne, the leading point getter in this team, has 21 points on the season. Petrie sends it around the boards. Leg one. Lays it back to the point, but Nail Yakupov was there. His outlet pass for Biarby too far, and it's shot right back in by Klein. The gut chipped in by Gagne. Minute. Pokes it to the corner. Has to scramble back into the net. Angus Biarby with it now. He gets surrounded around the boards. And here comes Irak. Irak shot. That one goes wide. Checked that there by Bobby Butler. Smith trying to get around Nick Schultz. Can't do it. Ellis' shot gets deflected, and that goes up into the netting. And not the stick right out of the hands of Eric Belanger.
Good job by him to get it there to deflect that shot by Ellis over the glass. Here's the hit by Peckham here as he just kind of rides Hornquist into the boards afterwards. He stays with him, kind of gives him a little bit of a shove afterwards into the boards. It was the angle that Hornquist was in when he went into the boards. And we've seen that happen a lot. This year especially, we saw Patrick Sharp suffer an injury like that a couple of games ago for Chicago. He's going to miss some time, and here's a good chance again by Gagne. Right after that hit, goes down the other way and gets a good backhand opportunity on Pekka-Rinne with traffic in front.
Hornquist missed 10 games with a knee injury. And he's hurt right now, but his team is not. Cannon shot up high. Gostad in the face of Jan Denis. They keep it in. Kostitsin. Circling the net is Clune. Rich Clune lays it to the corner. Picked up by Kostitsin. Gostad is in front. The puck comes to the middle for Clune. And here is Gostad right inside the net and popped over his stick. He gets it again. Tries the one-handing centering pass. And a penalty on the way. And now some more rough-ups. And there's Peckham and Clune. We knew this was coming, but it's not going to last long as Theo Peckham slips and goes down. And that's Gostad who comes right after Theo Peckham.
They were jostling in front the whole time, and for Gostad, 6'5", planting himself in front. For Peckham, he doesn't want to cross-check him too hard from behind, so he moves in front to try and get in front of the shot taker. And a round of applause here for Gostad after that hit on Hornquist. The fans here know that Peckham was the guy. But Peckham very willing to drop the gloves. This is the way he has to play, and he has played this way. Physical, aggressive, and right here afterwards, there's the shot by Gostad. They get going here, and just, unfortunately for Peckham, loses his balance and falls down early.
Gostad's a big guy. He's 6'5", 223 pounds.
And you know, I like it when Theo Peckham plays with an edge. You know, he plays nasty, he gets in the grill of the opposition, and he's skilled enough and athletic enough to lay those big hits on good players. And he's going to have to answer the bell from time to time, but I like the other aspect of it more, you know, making it a hard night for the offensive players of the opposition, which hasn't been the case too much this year for Edmonton.
And you know, it can't all be on Mike Brown.
No, absolutely. It's that team toughness. You want everybody to kind of chip in. You saw Sam Gagne the last shift get a good hit in on the forecheck. Everybody has to buy into that system, play a physical game, a skating game, a tight checking game, and make it a hard night. And that's how you have that team toughness.
Your favorite place, Sid? Nashville Predators, their second power play of this game.
When captain is Sean Horkoff, you have to be aware of where you are on the ice and where the goaltender is as well.
Started this game in 6:07, and it was Hornquist who got the goal. Hornquist out of the game right now.
Last time he needed
to be
a 5-on-3. Here's Horkoff. He's looking for the tip, loses track of where he is and where Quinn is.
Biarby in the box, 2 minutes for holding on that whole sequence that was happening in the offensive zone for Nashville. So their second power play, as you mentioned, Kevin, and a power play that has struggled as of late. Only one power play goal in the previous 6 games coming tonight before that goal by Hornquist.
Kostitsin moves to the middle, dishes off, he scores! And Nashville is going. And it's 6-2. In the second period of game 1 of the Western Conference Final.
The box 2 minutes for holding on that whole sequence.
6 seconds into the power play.
Happening in the offensive Biarby in the box 2 minutes for holding on that whole sequence that was happening in the offensive zone for Nashville. So their second power play, as you mentioned, Kevin. A power play that has struggled as of late. most of the second half, as you mentioned, Kevin. And a power play has struggled as of late. Only one power play goal in the previous 6 games coming tonight before that goal by Hornquist.
Kostitsin moves to the middle, dishes off.
Leg one.
Covers up.
Pro Hockey Life, the ultimate hockey megastore.
And once again, that heavy presence in front. This time it's Mike Fisher just plants himself in front of Denis. And it was a little wrister by Wilson through traffic. It wasn't a real hard shot. It was just on target, on the stick of Fisher, directs it into Jan Denis, and then everybody converges in. And he's able to cover it up.
Nashville came into this game 29th in power play goals. They have just 10. They have 11 now. 8 of them scored at home. Fisher drops it back for Webber. He was covered. Opportunity for Petrell, and will send it the length of the ice. Oilers 6th in penalty killing in the lead, 6th on the road. 49 seconds left to go. The penalty to Magnus Bjarvi. Martin Nira across the blue line, dishes off. Craig Smith back to the point it comes. Nira to Smith. Smith back up top. Kostitsin waiting for it. Got it. Racing towards the net. 6-4. He got it to Ryan Smith, and Ryan Smith got it out to center. But Yossi was checked by Jones. Jones moving in, shorthanded. Second opportunity, shorthanded for Jones. What an effort! Made the save. Ryan Jones, a couple of chances. The best one shorthanded. He wants a penalty.
Absolutely. You know, there's a little bit of an elbow shiver here by Webber as a nice toe drag here by Ryan Jones. Right there, just walks around the big man. And tries to go 5-0 once again. And right there, that reach out of the hand, the right hand that kind of reaches back. Now, it wasn't a whole lot, but enough to kind of knock Jones a little bit off. And there's been 4 straight plays now. The Oilers haven't drawn a penalty. Run through the talk about that this morning. If you want to draw penalties, you have to be fast. You have to create those opportunities. Jones with a good one there. Could have drawn a penalty and gets a real good scoring chance.
Penalty is over. And quickly back the other way comes Everly. Everly got Petrie with him. Everly, centering pass. Nugent Hopkins walks in, fires a shot. Pecorine makes the save. Everly behind the net. To Hall. Hall trying to put it out in front. It does. It comes back to the point. Pinching in was Schmid. Petrie picks it up back into his own zone. Quickly after Everly. Everly trying to get it to Hall, but Taylor Hall was offside. Ryan Nugent Hopkins. An opportunity right here. Pecorine, big guy. Ryan Nugent Hopkins. An opportunity right
to make it 6-3.
Makes the save.
It's 6-2 Predators. Here's the Stanley Cup Western Final.
Big guy.
Presented by TELUS. Enter for your chance to win an Optic TV and Samsung prize package valued at $13,000 or tickets to an upcoming Oilers home game. All you have to text Oilers to 333-77 or tickets to an upcoming Oilers home game. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit TELUS.com/hockey and answer this question. Which Oilers number is not retired in the Raptors? Is it number 11, number 17, number 33, or number 99? For every completed entry, TELUS will donate $1 to Heroes Hockey, helping at-risk youth play Canada's game.
3-0 the score here with 11:22 to go.
The score with 11:22
on in relief of Devin Dubik.
High-scoring game 1 in the West Final.
Rich Gloon scored 51 seconds into the second period, and that has been the Oilers'
Won 8 straight
shots favored
in the playoffs.
The Predators, but not by much. 17-13.
Yeah, an opportunity. Can't afford to give up for Devin Dubik. You know, they're going to downright stay composed when you do get an opportunity to attack aggressive.
Ryan Whitney and Justin Schultz paired together on the blue line right now. Sam Gagne goes back to pick it up. Magnus Bjarvi and Yakupov are his line mates. Ellis. facing Nick Schultz. Will get it around to Justin Schultz. They'll send it around the boards. Yakupov picks it up there, trying to flick it out. Doesn't get out. Colin Wilson picks it off. Drops it back to Webber. Not in a great position to shoot as it went off his skate. Now he'll let it go. And before he let it off his skate, now he'll let it go.
Now here's Jordan Eberle. Eberle.
Before he let it go,
He scores! Jordan Eberle! The Predators are down to 3 goals. It's 6-3.
it's offside.
Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's hockey game is Classical Pasta Sauce.
Well, let us know.
Classical Pasta Sauce.
Everybody has to be aware when Shay Webber is on the ice, and here you can see the one-time opportunity.
And it gets his point for number 14.
They called on the offside.
He's got a big ball knocked down. He's 6'4", 233 pounds. Boychuk gets stopped carrying on his Erat. Erat centering pass from all the way back up top. Paul, Eberle, Nugent Hopkins. Dangerous in the second period. Great chance by Nugent Hopkins. It was steered aside by Pacarine. He covers up that one.
Great block right there by Nick Schultz, too, on the back end there on Erat's shot as he was timed with Pacarine. You know, he's a workhorse for Nashville. Big body, as you mentioned, 6'5", and a real agile 6'5", and last year was 43 wins in 73 games that he played. So just goes to show you for how big he is, he can eat up a lot of games, a lot of minutes. And this guy's hot, he's hard to get a puck from. And this guy's hot, he's hard to get a puck from. I'll get it over.
I meant what you know.
Yeah, exactly.
3 shutouts. He's tied for first in that department. And he covers up that shot by Ben Eager. Telus Oilers hockey from Bridgestone Arena here in Nashville. Telus Oilers hockey from
6-3
Bridgestone
Predators
Arena here
in the Western Final.
The WHL playoffs are coming to Rexall Place starting March 22nd, and the Edmonton Oil Kings are looking to defend their Western Hockey League title. The ATB Financial Playoff Pass is available at oilkings.ca. For just $99, you can secure your seat to every Oil Kings home playoff game. Season tickets can also be renewed at oilkings.ca. Renewed by March 13th for terrific incentives like $50 in Oil Kings bucks per seat and additional playoff tickets.
Ryan Smith set to take this draw against Paul Gostad. Off the scramble. Gostad able to put it out off the glass. Whitney gloved that ahead. Paired together. Trying to get a shot away, and Whitney falls down Bobby Butler. Roy continues. And the shot came and hit the post. The referee had blown the whistle. The Oilers had stopped playing. And that could have been dangerous.
That was my buddy Darren Pang there, the holding jumping.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, for Shay Webber, he's got a cannon. And after this whistle went, everybody kind of let up a little bit. And the puck came back to him. And because the crowd was so loud in here, he didn't hear the whistle. And he tees this one up. What makes it dangerous is that nobody's expecting a 100-mile-an-hour slapper to come that way. And good thing that Jan Benitez let up. He paid attention the whole time. But it's going to be Ryan Whitney going to the box 2 minutes here for taking down. Yeah, it is Ryan Whitney. I thought it might have been Peckham on the backside. Boychuk was the one on the breakaway, partial breakaway there. And because he was even with him, it's not a penalty shot. But that was a scary moment there for Webber letting that one go.
Third power play for the Nashville Predators. They are 1 for 2. They have generated 5 shots with the man advantage. The Oilers still looking for their first power play as that puck went quickly into the Predators' bench.
And Kevin, for Zach Boychuk, you know, the player for Nashville that had that opportunity there, just picked up on waivers, as you've mentioned before. And for Trotz wants to see something develop from him. And he says it's up to the players that we pick to go up here and do something in this game. For Boychuk, that's the second penalty that he's drawn in this game for the Nashville Predators. So a good opportunity, 2 penalties drawn, pretty good start for him here in Nashville.
He's an Airdrie, Alberta guy. He fires it around the glass and gets that puck out. Pecorine directing traffic. Laid it off the end boards and ended up in the Oilers' possession. Schmid shorthanded. Out there with Smith and Gagne. 3 shorthanded goals for the Oilers. An opportunity right here thrown towards the net by Schmid. That one goes wide and Webber picks it up. Got to get Ryan Jones out there. He's had 2 great chances shorthanded as Fisher brings it in, drops it back. Kostitsin trying to get it back to Webber, but a good active stick there by Sam Gagne. Gagne and Petrell killing the penalties along with Schmid and Petrie. A penalty that has 47 seconds left in it. 8:20 left to go in this second period as Martin Erat winds up, fires the puck around the boards. Waiting for it there with Smith that winds up. 8:20 left by Mike Brown. All sorts of jets there as he beat Webber to the puck, and he's got possession. Great hustle by Mike Brown. And he's still got it. He'll play it back to the point. Schmid throws it towards the net. That goes wide. Great penalty kill for the Oilers. They have dominated and not allowed the Predators to get set up at all. 8 seconds to go. Erat.
Player for Nashville that have an opportunity there.
We have 7 seconds.
Letting that one go. There, first power. And Petrell wants to see something develop from him. And he says it's up to the players that we pick to come up here and do something in this game. For Boychuk, that's the second penalty that he's drawn in this game for the Nashville Predators. So a good opportunity. 2 penalties drawn. Pretty good start.
Jones, he scores! Ryan Jones against his home team. It's a power play goal. It's 6-4.
They have generated 5 shots quickly into the Predators.
Because he was even with him, it's not a penalty shot, but that was a scary moment there for Webber letting that one go.
Third power play for the net.
Chuck, that's the second penalty that he's drawn in this game for the Nashville Predators. So a good opportunity, 2 penalties drawn, pretty good start for him here in Nashville Predators. So a good opportunity, 2 penalties drawn, pretty good start for him here in this game for the Nashville Predators. So a good opportunity, 2 penalties drawn, pretty good start for him here in Nashville.
He's in there. He gets the second goal of the game.
Mike Brown showing a few. You never know what's the roles that he is going to take on coming here to Edmonton. Is the fact that he can
Down to the box and has the positives.
Yeah, some real positives. You mentioned Mike Brown a couple of times there too. Obviously, one of the roles that he is going to take on coming here to Edmonton is the fact that he can kill penalties as well. He's that fast guy. He gets pucks in deep. He's physical and he's strong enough to hold guys off and eat up some time. Good job by him in the offensive zone. But when you're down 3-0, you don't want to give that next goal up to the Nashville Predators. There's still 7:19 left in the second period, a third period to go. You never know what's going to happen. You get that one and have that trickle-down effect where everybody starts to rally and get going. And a good, solid penalty kill there. As Mike Brown showing a few wear and tears there, too, from that scrap with Clune. Those guys were chucking him earlier in the game. Does some good penalty killing there.
Well, we saw this movie last night in Detroit, down 3-0. And, Louis, you broke down the breakdown, and here an opportunity for the Oilers again. But this time, an opportunity to stay within their structure, stay within the game plan, and as you mentioned, lots of time left. Eberle with the puck being watched by Kevin Klein. He'll give it to Schmid, who's down low, put it to the corner, and then knocked down by Gostad was Nugent Hopkins. The Oilers, though, able to keep it in. Hall emerges, but the puck gets away. And quickly brought back by Clune. To Boychuk, just out of his reach, and he sweeps that aside. Gets it again, centers it out in front. Long shot, and that one's tipped away. By Bartley, let that one go. Bartley playing in his first National Hockey League game.
There's confidence shown there, and as we mentioned earlier, he played a year and a half with Jordan Eberle in Regina, the WHL. And nice little offensive move there, takes the puck, kind of drags it back, finds that open shooting lane, and gets it through.
26 points in 54 games. The AHL affiliate in Milwaukee. Team with a 3-0 lead with just under 6 minutes to go in the period. Gagne from a sharp angle, hit-handed with it. Comes back to the point. Justin Schultz is there.
Second period.
Nick Schultz. He'll give it to Yakupov and get it right back again. Near side, Justin Schultz throws it towards the net. Deflected by Magnus Bjarvi, then a shot that just missed from Sam Gagner. Pressure now. Took a weird hop off the stanchion, but kept in by the Oilers as they get the cycle going. Here's Yakupov. Turning. Yakupov to Schultz. Nick Schultz. Quick angle shot, and that one goes right through the blue paint. Kept in again by the Oilers. Magnus Bjarvi gets knocked down by Scott Hanna as he plays it behind the net. The Oilers want to get a change in while keeping the puck in the Predators zone. Legwand works it out to center. He wants to make a change, and that puck touched the bench of the Predators. Telus Oilers hockey from Nashville here on Sports. Telus Oilers hockey from Nashville here on Sports. Telus Oilers hockey from Nashville here on Predators.
With the departure of Lindy Ruff from an NHL bench, Barry Trotz is now the most tenured National Hockey League coach, and we take you back to the day that he was hired. It was a long time ago, a flashback of when the Nashville Predators hired their first ever NHL head coach. Well, he was a lot younger, David Poile, the GM then, and still the general manager. There's his hockey mugshot to tell everybody, yes, I can smile. He's not often seen doing that behind the bench, and this was opening night when he came out to celebrate his hiring as the Nashville Predators head coach. 512 wins the way he's going. It may be a while before Nashville trots out another coach to replace.
Jack Adams finalist 2010 and 2011. Whitney, a wrist shot, doesn't make it through with the stick of Martin Erat.
Yeah, pretty incredible. Barry Trotz has never won the Coach of the Year. When you look at what he's done over the years here in Nashville, 7 of the last 8 years he's made the playoffs. Only coach to do that in the NHL in the last 8 years, and twice now, both last 2 years they've gotten to the second round, so a real nice job by him.
And for David Legwand, in his pro career, Louis the only coach and only GM he's ever had. David Poile and Barry Trotz. That's got to be rare. Ladislav Schmid cuts off Bourque. Gets the puck to Petrie. Petrie under pressure there from Colin Wilson. Bourque on the intercept in behind the net. Schmid battling with him. Wilson comes up with the puck. He'll play it back to the point. Webber waiting for it. Weak wrist shot. The backboards were picked up by Wilson. And a nice speed by Bourque. The puck is still alive. The knee down. He gets the whistle and keeps the puck out.
In one of those situations where a goaltender, because he has to come up with such an acrobatic save, can't really recover, and he doesn't want to move. Wants to stay in that position. And for Nashville, good job down low once again. You can hear the grinding away, and this puck comes off the back wall, right out front, good high-quality chance. Great save by Denis. And then once he's down, he doesn't know where that puck is. He wants to stand his ground and stay strong. Good job by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to get back in there, and Ladislav Schmid to cover it up afterwards. But that first save was a big one by Denis.
Jones sends it around the boards. Weber's going to cut it off. 3:43 to go. Backhand slides right through.
Well, a lot of those little plays right around the net by Nashville. Just good job putting that puck around, and that guy always a presence in front of the Edmonton netminder.
Gene.
Well, guys, just a reminder that the 2013 World Baseball Classic is underway. Canada will take on Mexico tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Mountain on Sportsnet East, Ontario, West, and Pacific, and lots of excitement about the Toronto Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Yankees taking on the Jays Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Mountain on Sportsnet East, Ontario, West, and Pacific.
3:33 to go in the second period. The shots favor the Predators 19-15. They outshot the Oilers 13-8 in that first period. So down to just 6 shots in this period. And as the guys have mentioned, fewest shots in the league, lowest scoring team. Averaging just 1.96 goals per game coming into this one. They've got 3 here. Denis behind the net. That is there for Nick Schultz. He'll give it to Justin. Belanger lost it to Gostad. Gostad, Kostitsin, and Kloon are up front. Klein and Bartley on the blue line for a Nashville Predators team that is sitting at 9-9-5. The Oilers hitting the halfway point tonight. This time last year, Edmonton was 12-10-2 after 24 games. Schultz to Gagner. Going for the net is Yakupov, Gagne trying to get it there, fires it over top of the net, gets by Magnus Bjarvi, picked up there by Bourque. And he will outlet for Bartlett. After Bartlett sends that puck in, Denis sweeps it around the boards. Brian Whitney gets away from Legwand. Yakupov with some speed. Here comes Dale Yakupov with Gagne. Cuts to the middle, backhand towards the net, great chance! Pekarine stretched out. That's 6'5", got both pads right across the goal mouth. Sharp angle shot, why not, for Sam Gagne. Yakupov throws a hit.
Yeah, Yakupov, a couple of real good shifts here in the second period. Has found his legs and skating, got a couple shots through, and that one there, the backhand had eyes that almost got through Rene. And when he skates and moves with the puck like that, hard guy to handle. And I'm sure you might see him get a little bit more ice time throughout this game. Those young legs get him in action in a back-to-back situation.
Wojciech with it now. Zach Wojciech turns, throws it out in front. And then Fisher turned and flattened.
Throughout this game, puck like that, hard guy to handle. And I'm sure you might see him get a little bit more ice time throughout this game. Those young legs get him in action in a back-to-back. Rene, and when he skates and moves with the puck like that, hard guy to handle. And I'm sure you might see him get a little bit more ice time throughout this game. Those young legs get him in action in a back-to-back situation.
Wojciech with it now. Zach Wojciech turns, throws it out in front. And then Fisher turned and flattened.
Get him in action in a back-to-back situation.
Wojciech with it now. Zach Wojciech turns, throws it out in front. And then Fisher turned and flattened.
Sure, you might see him get a little bit more ice time throughout this game. Those young legs get him in action in a back-to-back situation.
Wojciech with it now. Zach Wojciech turns, throws it out in front. And then Fisher turned and flattened.
Tipped.
He was February in a Nashville uniform. 2. Here. Pardon me.
Kevin, very good job. Had only one win in the last 6 games played, so they had a lot of meetings. Shay Webber told us this morning they came out prepared for this one.
Erad shot, another opportunity. Craig Smith missed the open net. Webber turns, fires it towards the net. Nashville buzzing right now. Smith trying to bank it in. He'll go after it. He was tied up by Ryan Smith. Less than a minute to go in the period.
Buzzing is right, Kevin. You put the nail right in the head there. They smell blood. This isn't the type of game they haven't played for a while. They struggled to score goals. The big shot by Webber, gets through, and just all that action in front. Watch this drive wide by Smith as he tries to get the wraparound going, and the stick check by his old Wisconsin teammate, Justin Schultz, at the last second there. Second heavy action in front of Denis.
Second straight game that he's faced a Smith and his former teammate.
You're right. It was Brendan last night in Detroit.
50 seconds left in the period. Bartley fires it around the boards. Kostitsin up against Peckham. Theo Peckham wins that puck battle, and he'll start away and give it to his D partner, Ryan Whitney. Quickly to Gagne. Gagne down the right side to Whitney. Whitney plays it to the corner. Magnus Bjarvi behind the net for Gagne. Gagne takes the look. He's got Whitney in front, broken up by Gostad, but there's Theo Peckham with a shot, and it rises over top of the net. Peckham behind the net. That's Bjarvi to Yakupov. Turns, hard pass to the middle, off the skate of Whitney. Here's a wraparound by Magnus Bjarvi. 9 seconds, Oilers all over. The Nashville Predators out in front, it comes, tipped away neatly. And now pressure relieved as the second period comes to an end. 2 periods
Oilers
in the books. 2 goals in the first period.
to the books.
In the second period.
6. Oilers scored 8-1.
Adds up to a 4-0 lead. That's tough against the Predators heading to the third period. Coming up later.
Western Conference Final.
Adds up to a 4-0 lead. That's tough against the Predators heading to the third period. Coming up later on Sportsnet West after this one, it's the Flames and the Ducks, a new multi-millionaire in Ryan Getzlaf. We'll discuss him and the new contract with the Brad May and Neil Smith when we come back. Oilers had their chances when it was still a 2-0 game, but couldn't break through, and now stuck 4 through.
goals in the first, 2 goals in the second, a total of 4 on the part of the Nashville Predators through 2 periods of play. And we want to talk to you about a Nashville company called Swiftwick, and this is a sock that they're trying to get other NHL teams to wear, and they were trying this morning with the Edmonton Oilers. First off, it's got kind of a sweat area here where the sweat is supposed to release all the way to the bottom, and then it releases out. Usually NHL players have holes at the bottom of their skates, but more importantly is this microfiber right here. You know the injury to Eric Carlson, all the talk about Kevlar socks, and this is an alternative, not as bulky, not as difficult to wear. So what we've done is I've actually got one on, and I'm just going to heads up with that skate. Don't do that at home. So there it is. And there, look at that. There you see it right there. It's pretty difficult to cut. So that's good news. The Edmonton Oilers, in fact, about 8 of them are using them this evening. One of them is Eric Belonza. They want to see if it's something that can keep them safer. But you know, hockey players can be a bit superstitious about what they wear. We'll see if the Oilers continue to wear them. Louis and Kevin.
All right, Gene and Louis, you wonder if that starts to become a mandatory thing once the technology allows it to be comfortable. Guys don't even think about it. It's like wearing a helmet. You just part of your safety equipment.
I mean, you know, I think the most important thing is the comfort factor to the sock, and as you saw with Gene holding in his hand, I saw it today too in the truck downstairs. It's actually not that big. It's not bulky. If they can get that fabric a little bit thinner and that, which that sock seemed to be, I'm sure guys will start to wear it. You heard Belanger is going to try it out. I'm sure guys, once they put them on and realize that they can wear them and it's not really too hindering in their movements, why wouldn't you wear it? I mean, that's the question. Why wouldn't you wear it? But it's the same old debate. Same with visors. I mean, players have certain preferences, but in that case, that's an easy one to change, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Third period underway. The Oilers trying to build some momentum.
Get something positive out of in the Western Final.
Down 4-0.
And the Oilers
You see Ladislav jumping right up into the play.
The ninth playoff game in a row.
In at the blue line does a good job of that. The Oilers will be in Chicago on Sunday. Finish up this road trip in Colorado on Tuesday. Those 2 teams meeting tonight
on Wednesday
in Denver.
And then on Friday, Wrexham
against Shay Webber. Everly back to the point. Whitney with it now. Throws it through traffic. And that one gets deflected wide. Hall was in front. Boychuk outlets to Webber. Shay Webber takes a look. Fires it around the boards. Waiting for it there, Erad. He'll let it go. But Boychuk throws it towards the net. Here's Yossi stepping into a shot to be the save. Hall picks it up and starts away. Everly flips that puck in. On the near side, it's cleared by Erad right up to Mike Fisher. Fisher goes cross ice, and there's Yossi's shot. Steered aside by Denis. Denis on in relief. Well, Devin Dubnyk, he gave up 2 goals on 13 shots in the first period. And Ralph Kruger just sent something, Louis, in that second goal by
we get another game.
It was not
on Tuesday.
Tonight.
Which is the Vancouver Canucks
Obviously for Devin Dubnyk, play a
and
lot
the
of
Minnesota Wild.
big hit there.
And game 1
in
Vancouver.
Comes in and catches Gabriel Brook with a good shot there, but for Denis, that in the second shot that he faced in that second period, a couple of shots were whacked at him from Clune. He put one by him. Other than that, he's been pretty darn solid. The goals have gone by him. The fourth one wasn't one that you would say he would have as a high deflection. So he's played pretty well, but for Nashville, they've just done a great job of continuing to get pucks in deep and get shots from the net. Very good job boxing out Edmonton in the defensive zone. It's like a one-and-done attack in the offensive zone for Edmonton tonight.
Oilers outshot the Nashville Predators in that second period, 10-8. They trail 23-19.
Yeah, they actually outshot Nashville in that second period, 10-8. So, I mean, it was that type of a period. But again, a lot of those shots from the perimeter for Edmonton, and that's something that Nashville wants to try and maintain, is keeping things to the outside, and those clearing things have been pretty solid tonight. Shay Webber's been real strong in the defensive zone, going head-to-head with the Nugent-Hopkins line, and we're not giving them a whole lot of time in the offensive zone.
Energy line out there now. Ryan Smith moving in, snaps a shot. Pecorine makes the save.
As Gene was talking,
going down, so does Kevin Klein right open.
Loads open after he finishes poisoning, as Gene was talking about earlier.
Not much of a chance. He went down. Speaking of going down, so does Kevin Klein right over top of Schultz, and then Clune cross-check Schultz. The Oilers still looking for their first power play opportunity in the last couple of games.
5 periods. They haven't drawn one there. You know, that wasn't a real vicious cross check by Boone, but it certainly was enough to knock a player down. And it was Justin Schultz that was in there in the forecheck as a defenseman.
One game. When trailing after 40 minutes.
Justin Schultz. Must have 3 for Gagne.
In game 4, though.
Sam Gagne. Gets the blue line, flips it in. He's going to peel off on a
Columbus Blue Jackets. Game 2.
You know, the Oilers came into this game without a power play goal in their last 4 games, but they only got 7 chances in 4 games coming in. Boychuk lays it around behind the net. Now he'll go after it against Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Eberle sees it go by him. Little help from Theo Peckham to Hall, and Hall bangs that puck out to center. Close checking now as Fisher goes after it against Nick Schultz. Fisher. Down to the other side it goes. Boychuk 34 there. He's got Gabriel Bourque out in front. That's Colin Wilson. Wilson driving to the net. Wilson trying to jam it in. And he does. Wilson driving to the net. Wilson trying to jam it in. And he does. Wilson driving to the net. Wilson trying to jam it in.
Webber, and there's the hat trick for Shay Webber in the conference final in game 1. 7-4 Predators lead.
Established possession, holds onto it, waits for time, rims it around, and watch Wilson here go to work, just trying to find that line, looking for a pass, nothing there, the pass up to the troubles of the Nashville Predators, all kinds of
first playoff hat trick.
They have exploded in this game. 4:43, the time of the goal by Colin Wilson. Have exploded in this game. 4:43, the time of the goal. And Butler let it go. Craig Smith in the corner. Smith trying to work his way to the middle. He is cut up there by Jones. Cottrell trying to split the defense. Gets some help from Ryan Smith. Here comes the E-Route. Gets it out. Whitney gets possession. Whitney takes a look. The Oilers want to make a change. 14:20 left to go in the third period.
Their fault.
Eager going after it. Ben Eager is playing in his 400th National Hockey League game tonight. Wilson. He has full pain. He gets a little bit of a luck. Boychuk waiting for it there. He's got Gabriel Bourque out in front.
Gabriel Bourque. Here's Gabriel Bourque.
That's Colin Wilson. Wilson jumping Wilson. Wilson trying to jam it in.
He scores! 8-4. And Shay Webber gets his 4th goal in game 1.
The time of the goal by Colin Wilson.
And then Shay Webber
have exploded in this game. Those are the Nashville Predators. Now, Point as a member of the as Butler let it go. Craig Smith in the corner. Smith trying to work his way to the middle. He is cut up there by Jones. Cottrell trying to split the defense. some help from Ryan Smith. Up comes the Era. Gets it out. Ryan Whitney gets possession, gives it right to Brown. Whitney takes a look. He's got a couple that had his lead in points. The season assists as well. Continuing to add his lead in points. Mike Fisher, as Louis mentioned, set that up. Webber gets an assist. And Webber's got a couple of helpers. And so does Mike Fisher. Klein in the puck. He'll start the rush for the Predators. Start the rush for the Predators. Kevin Klein was cross ice, coming into a shot there. Was Victor Barkley, and it gets deflected up into the netting.
That was 8 goals for the Predators.
Oilers hockey.
It's all your fault if the Oilers get their 5th goal.
Oh, it's Victor Barkley. And it gets deflected up into the netting. Telus Oilers hockey.
8-4 Predators.
Right here on
Telus Oilers hockey on Sportsnet in the Stanley Cup final.
It's time to play Fan Right, Fan Wrong trivia presented by TELUS. Enter for your chance to win an Optic TV and Samsung prize package valued at $13,000 or tickets to an upcoming Oilers home game. All you have to do is text valued at $13,000 or tickets to an upcoming Oilers home game. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit telus.com/hockey and answer this question. Which Oilers number is not retired in the Raptors? 11, 17, 33, or 99? For every completed entry, TELUS will donate $1 to Heroes Hockey, helping at-risk youth play Canada's game.
The sound of atmosphere here at the Bridgestone Arena.
13:25 to go here in the third period
of the 2012 Western Final since last year. And now
13:25 to go here
with 13:13 left to go in the third period. 4 goals by Shay Webber.
See back this game out there with Schultz or mixing and matching some things here.
Important night.
Late in this game, try and shuffle things up, see how things go. Jakubov centers it.
And David Legwand, 4 assists.
Gagne and Piyarvi together. Here's Theo Peckham. Peckham and Gostad had worse before that face-off was dropped as they were coming back from commercial time.
They shot was like
Sunday, and then they'll have to exact a little revenge against this Nashville team. Yeah, they played this team 3 times, including tonight in the next 18 days, so we'll see enough of each other to not like each other. Schmid down low, tried to center it, didn't work.
Down low in the center.
Wojciech gets it out.
For 9.
March 17th in Edmonton. March 25th, we'll be right back. Wojciech gets it out. March 17th in Edmonton. March 25th, we'll be right back here in Nashville.
Right, so.
17th in Edmonton. March up there by Klein as the puck comes around the boards. The Oilers trying to make a change. The puck squirted free off the stick of Justin Schultz. Wojciech trying to take advantage. Whitney with it now. Whitney right in front of his own net. Legwand looking for anything he could grab. Colin Wilson, good stick to keep it in. Wilson, centering pass, comes to Hall. Taylor Hall, down the left side. He'll drop it all the way back. It went by Justin Schultz. And the Oilers reboot. Hannon keeps it in. He'll get it to Legwand. David Legwand from the corner.
And the Canucks.
Quick shot by Bork goes wide. And Ellis takes a hit for the games. Now he gets a steal. And a backhand shot, and that one doesn't make it through.
Shot. Wilson make it through.
All over it. Takes a hit from Petrell.
He takes a hit from Petrell. And he's going to make the save.
Put it out in front. Trying to get it to Bork, but Whitney was there on the intercept, and then Bork
returned the favor and shot it back in to allow Nashville to make a change.
Good reload there by Bork. Gets really quickly back on the defensive side of things, and that one kind of just luckily hits him in the skates, but because he gets back hard, he's in the right position. That line's been really good. Legmont, Wilson, and Bork tonight for Nashville, just really solid on the cycle down low, strong on the walls, and very good defensively. And Colin Wilson, as we mentioned, having a 3-point night already. Terrific night for him.
Pecorino lays it off the boards, and a quick out for the Nashville Predators, and this is Irak. Craig Smith, give it up there by Theo Peckham. Bouncing puck in the high slot, and Van Eager picks it up. Eager lays it off the boards, looking for Brown. Too far for him. Webber bounces it out. Schmid to Smith. Ryan Smith. He's playing in his 47th game against the Nashville Predators. He has picked up 39 points. And nobody has gotten a puck by Pecorino. 3 shutouts on the season for him. All 3 shutouts have come here in Nashville.
Cheers for the home team from the home team. Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. With expert advice.
Well, every team wants to be that team that gives Chicago its first regulation loss of the season. Right now, the Hawks are losing to the Colorado Avalanche by a score of 3-1. Now, either way, the two teams will meet again for a second time this week, Sunday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. And don't forget, after we're done here, Roger Millions, Charlie Sue, and Rob Kerr will be hard at work as the Calgary Flames will take on the Anaheim Ducks.
And Gene, no matter what happens in Colorado, nobody, Louis, has beaten Chicago in regulation at the United Center. So the Oilers will get a crack at that on Sunday. Tomorrow or Saturday, either way.
The Predators will lead the series
With it now.
at 1 game.
Watches the blue line, takes a look, there's a pass to the middle, picked up by Gagne. Gagne takes a shot, and that one goes over top of the net. Yakupov's got it now. Nail Yakupov. Magnus Piarvi. Piarvi to Whitney at the point. Whitney under pressure there from Klein. Bork at center. Gets it to Legwine. David Legwine moves to the middle. Legwine still has it, cuts it back, and there it is for a big shot. The rebound. Bork looking for it. Henning on the far side. On the near side, Ellis pitching in. Gagne gets there first. Bork with a quick stick keeps it in temporarily, and now an opportunity for Everly. Everly one-on-one against Henning. Sends it behind the net. Big Pecorino stops it there. Taylor Hall bearing down on it. And he'll give it to Mike Fisher. Quickly up for Erat. And that'll go back to Fisher. Couple of points for number 12. It's a pretty famous wife, I understand. You think? Schultz. Nick Schultz lost it. Wojciech gives it to Erat. Gets it back again. Trying to get a shot away and pay the price as Nick Schultz takes him down with the biggest hit of the night for the Edmonton Oilers. Yep. Hall, 1-on-2, brings it across the line, still has it, Taylor Hall. Right to Nugent Hopkins from a sharp angle, and Rene the save. Nugent Hopkins. Nick Schultz for Nashville. It was the Stanley Cup Western Conference Final. Game 1 play, outstanding result, is brought to you by RE/MAX, Canada's most productive agents.
Well, it's going to be the last goal that the Nashville Predators have scored. It's been Colin Wilson, 3 points on the night now with this goal. And what a nice individual effort by him as he does a little button hook, gets to the net, just drives it home. Not always pretty, but he was looking for a pass, couldn't find one, so he said, I'm taking this one to the post myself, and it rewards him with a goal. And 3 points on the night so far.
18 points on the season. 12 of those points have come here at home. Petrell. There's that puck in.
The Predators.
Jones going after it.
Fans chanting here in Game 1.
Smith tied up behind the net by Eric Belanger. Belanger gets tripped up. Petrell gets the puck. Petrell, Belanger, and Jones. Ryan Jones had a couple of great chances short-handed. And you wonder, Louis, sometimes the complexion of a game changes when you get a short-handed goal. The Oilers have 3 this year. Jones hops the pass over the stick of Petrell. Sent in by Bork.
Oilers Gave up 8 goals.
He's up there now. It's Ladislav Schmid as
the
Lakeland
first
brings it
game
in from
of the playoffs.
Boychuk trying to get it back to him. Wilson, the Boychuk, and he was knocked down by Schmid. He's behind the net, and Van Eager comes away. Eager trying to chip it in, but broken up by Klein, and it's offside. The Boychuk. Eager trying to chip it in, but by Schmid. He's behind the net, and Van Eager comes away.
And here's Kevin Klein.
But
Klein
broken up by Klein, and
he
it's
scores. Stays out
at the Nashville
and still making it 8-4, and it was offside.
Then he was trying to get that puck in deep and establish a forecheck, and it's been a chore all night long for Edmonton. You really have to hand it to Nashville tonight. They knew they had a team coming in here. They played last night in Detroit, came in here late last night. They had the second game in 2 nights. They've had the rest, and they've been the better team here with the more energy, and they played the right way, getting pucks in deep, making it a tough night for Edmonton. It hasn't been easy treading, getting pucks out, getting pucks in. They got to Devin Dubas early in this one and have continued it throughout this game. Now up 5-0 with just over 7 minutes left in the game. 3-game losing streak for Nashville that saw them score just 3 goals. Outscored 12-3. They've got 5 here. 6:50 to go in the third period. To Steetson. Klein. Throws it towards the net when the whistle wide. Yakupov on the far side with Magnus Bjarvi. Magnus Bjarvi and Yakupov. Nail Yakupov. Whitney the trailer with a shot. Ready to save. Gagne trying to find Yakupov. He gets tied up, but Magnus Bjarvi carries on. And once again, defenseman coming down low is Nick Schultz's turn. But a great chance for Whitney. I'd like to see Whitney jumping up there. Real nice pass by Yakupov as he gets it wide, finds Whitney late. Good redirection right on to Pecorine. So a high-quality chance off the rush by Edmonton. 23 shots for the Oilers. Early bringing in now. He said it's a shot by Schultz. He's going to steer to the car wash. Back the other way come the Nashville Predators. Boychuk can't get the shot away.
Predators lead in game 1 of the conference.
Unable to keep it in at the point. Here. Nugent Hopkins, Everly, and Hall, the forward line now. Mike Fisher trying to dump that puck in against Everly. Jordan Everly to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins across the blue line. Hopkins against Yossi. Gets it to Hall. Back to the point it comes. Ladislav Schmid now with a wrist shot. That one goes wide. Bourque against Petrie, chopping at it. Petrie couldn't keep it in at the blue line. Schmid's got it now. He's going to chip it and chase it against Webber. Those two come together in the corner. Oilers make a change. Ryan Jones trying to help out. Waiting for anything to come loose. Finally the puck does, but it's in the possession of the Nashville Predators. Butler chips it in. Pays the price as Petrie takes him into the boards. Good finish there by Petrie. Butler had a real head of steam there. Was looking to go wide and chip and charge. And Petrie just stopped him in his tracks. Jones sweeps it in. Brady stops it behind the net. Takes his time. Carries it around the glass. Trying to get by the Larson. Picked up there by Boychuk. Now to Ryan Ellis. Ryan Ellis. Pass intended for Butler. Didn't work. But it does come to Smith. Chris Smith trying to gain the zone. Penalty coming up to the Edmonton Oilers. Van Eager going to go over and touch it. And that will get the whistle. Van Eager going to go over and touch it. And that will get the whistle.
Scores! Martin Eran. And with under 6 minutes left to go in the third. And the Predators lead by 5 goals. It's 9-4.
Whistle, and we'll get the 4th power play for the Predators when we come back. Ryan Whitney looking for
Homes are located on 2 levels, provide fast-paced Edmonton hockey while entertaining business partners, employees, or friends, or all of the above. For more information, call 780-409-5897 or email Bob Harvey, bob@edmontonoilers.com.
Ryan Jones in the penalty box. 2 minutes for Elwin for a power play for the Nashville Predators. First
of this period. The Oilers still don't have one.
Always a penalty for finishing a check.
Generated 5 shots. The power play did not get a shot the last time they had the power players. Colin Wilson with a shot here. Smithy lets it go. Steered aside by Denis. Wilson with it again. 3-point night for him as it comes back to Kostitsin at the point. He'll give it to Wilson. Wilson moves to the middle. Wilson still has it. Dishes off. That one pops the ball. Webber let it go.
And that would be enough. For the first time in 2012. That's 1. That's 9. The fans, they will have to go. Wild.
A number of these
Intended for Butler didn't work, but it does come to Oilers at the whistle, and that will get the 4th power play for the Predators when we come back. Ryan Whitney looking for the Predators when we come back. Ryan Whitney looking for his 3rd goal of the season.
9-4.
The Edmonton Oilers have a small number of executive suites available for rent during the 2013 season. Rexall Place rental suites are located on 2 levels, providing privacy and comfort for groups of 12 to 36. Enjoy each thrilling moment of fast-paced Edmonton hockey while entertaining business partners, employees, or friends, or all of the above. For more information, call 780-409-5897 or email Bob Haramy, bob.h@edmontonoilers.com.
Ryan Jones in the penalty box. 2 minutes for elbowing. 4th power play for the Nashville Predators. First power play of this period. The Oilers still don't have one.
The Predators, they scored 9.
Finishing a check, not an elbow.
One time in the playoffs.
Generated 5 shots. The power play did not get a shot the last time they had the power players. Colin Wilson with a shot here. Smithy lets it go. Steered aside by Denis. Wilson with it again. 3-point night for him as it comes back to Kostitsin at the point. He'll give it to Wilson. Wilson moves to the middle. Wilson still has it. Dishes off. That one cuts the bar. Webber let it go. Kostitsin again. Sergei Kostitsin now to Webber. Webber being watched by Belanger, who's out there with Brown, Peckham, and Nick Schultz. Frank Smith from the corner. Stopped by Peckham. Peckham goes down. The puck comes back to the point. Webber with it. Webber dishes off. Wilson with a wrist shot. Scores. What a night for Colin Wilson. Peckham and Nick Schultz. Frank Smith from the corner. Stopped by Peckham. Peckham goes down. The puck comes back to the point. Webber with it. Webber dishes off. Wilson with a wrist shot. Scores. Being watched by Belanger, who's out there with Brown, Peckham, and Nick Schultz. Frank Smith from the corner. Stopped by Peckham. Peckham goes down. The puck comes back to the point. Webber with it. Webber. Stopped by Peckham. Peckham goes down. The puck comes back to the point. Webber with it. Webber. Stopped by Peckham. Peckham goes down. The puck comes back to the point. Webber with it. Webber. Dishes off. Wilson with a wrist shot. Webber with it. Left to go in the game. Theo Peckham, great. 3 minutes left to go in the game.
3 minutes left to go in game 1. 9-4. Oilers. Predators lead.
39 at the time of the power play goal. 9 power play goals at home. And that one rings iron. 9 power play goals at home. And that one rings iron. As Boychuk let it go. Off the crossbar and into the net. The Nashville Predators, lowest scoring team in the league, on fire.
Really on fire.
In the league.
For Zach Boychuk. Comes in, gets a real good opportunity on net, creates it with his speed, skill, moves from inside to outside, releases that shot. We talked about the fact that he's been picked up on by waivers by Nashville here. His first game, wants to make an impression, already has a goal tonight, and almost got a second one there. So I think it's safe to say that he's making an impression early here in Nashville.
The Nashville Predators almost got 10 goals.
On injured reserve for Nashville.
Trying to look for the 10.
Shuts down the minors here. D-Red with a shot, broke his stick. Injured reserve. Webber with 3 points.
Shay Webber with 7 points.
Petrie.
You're in the playoffs.
Throws it towards the net through traffic. And Ian with the stick just kind of suckers it back to Rene so he can hang on to it.
Well, you know, the Nashville Predators have been all over Edmonton in this game here in Jun.03, who went in relief of Devin Dubik for this.
The Predators have taken. They just averaged just 24 coming into this one. Ryan Smith from the corner. Smith with Brown and Eager. The energy line for the Edmonton Oilers trying to generate some kind of energy here in the last couple of minutes of this hockey game before they head to Chicago. Colin Wilson against Nick Schultz. Colin Wilson, 4 points on the night. 2 straight goals here in this third period, 1 on the power play. Theo Peck waits for the Oilers to make a change. Justin Schultz takes a look. Pass for Petrell, broken up by Webber. And we've got an offside.
You mentioned Colin Wilson there, Kevin, and I had a chance to be a teammate for a very short period of time with his dad, Kerry, in New York. He was drafted by the Rangers, and much like Colin, in the fact that he was a real solid individual, a scorer, an offensive-minded player, but a strong guy to boot, and Colin's no different. You watch him tonight, and he just has been a force down low, has been real physical along the walls, and has finished a couple of real nice plays off, that's for sure.
That comes in the middle of the first. 1 minute was tied up by Boone. Less than a minute to go in this one.
Less than a minute to go in this one. Atmosphere. Listen to this crowd.
Jones going after it. And Jones, couple of opportunities early in this game. Gets one here. Can't get the shot away against Fisher. 38 seconds left in this one. And the Nashville Predators
series lead. 18 seconds left. Listen to this.
The team that's only won 1 game in their last 6.
Led the series. 1 game to none.
and Nashville snaps a 4-game losing streak by handing
And the 8-game winning streak for the Oilers here in the playoffs is over.
Four-game losing streak by
The Predators won the series of 6 games. And that 6-game winning streak.
Telus Oilers Hockey on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Telus, the future is friendly. By Molson Canadian, brewed with the best this land has to offer. By Ford, go further. And by Rexall, feel good.
Let's take a look at the 3-star selection brought to you by Molson Canadian. It's brewed with the best this land has to offer.
Well, Rich Boone was involved in this game in more ways than one. A goal, 3 hits, on fight, had a real effective night. Pecorino, as you mentioned, 4th shutout of the season for him. Not a real busy one, but certainly a shutout. And Colin Wilson, the best player on the ice tonight. 2 goals, 2 assists. Great defensively and a physical force. He's your first step.
Stay right where you are because we've got more hockey for you. We're going to the Honda Center, the Calgary Flames, and the Anaheim Ducks.
4 goals.
great defensively. And
Aye.
got out and Colin Wilson, the best player on the ice tonight. 2 goals, 2
Shay
assists.
Webber.
Great
He's the first
defensively and a physical force. He's your first step.
Stay right where you are because we've got more
You
hockey
are.
for you. We're going
More
to the
hockey
Honda
for
Center,
you.
the Calgary Flames, and the Anaheim
The Predators
Ducks.
win it.
Let's go there
9-4
right now.
in Game 1. Western Conference Final.